Okay, I'll be with you in a minute, folks. Didn't realize I was actually on. Yeah, count the videos. And I'll do 20 if I want. Hey, I need on Cornelius on something here. The proof is bullshit. Is that Kent would have no idea. Kent is a guy who was working on a book. He was, if you put my name in with Kent Bartram, Bartram, on Google, see what comes out. We were both, that was like 100 years ago. Okay. Kent did not buy my negative collection at all. Again, it was just a purchase of one-time rights to put in his book. And as I said, yes, I don't know whether or not he actually ever published the book. I got to read what Dong had to say on there. And I was reading this phony baloney communication. And I'll find out because I actually wrote to Kent Bartram. We both basically had the entitlement on the INBD on there for Grey Gardens, and this is getting kind of played out for research. That's what it was. I made my own contributions in my own way. Bartram made a lot of contributions on research on his own way, just differently. But let me go on with this just a little bit more. I got to eat dinner. No, I wrote Kent, in fact, about 20 minutes ago. I want to hear from him, actually. And I don't know where you come up with this $5,000 for negatives. I wouldn't sell five of them for $5,000. That never happened. It's a bunch of bullshit being made up by Don Cornelius. Let's see, what else is here to discuss on this matter? Well, that's pretty much the end of it. Grey Gardens was a movie, as I look at it, as a century ago, as far as I'm concerned. I was very happy to have something to do with it, my contributions, as well as Kent Bartram's contributions toward it. And Kent is a talented person, for what I know of him, and he's a really good researcher. And if it wasn't for Kent, and some other people who have actually contributed in one form or a way on this movie, it wouldn't be a movie. As it turned out, this character you keep on hearing about, Edith Beale, was quite a character. She became a cult figure, basically, to a lot of people. The movie was quite poignant. The movie was actually showing the lives of, mostly between her and her mom, who lived this reclusive life because they pretty much went to the shit house with money. But it was enough to put on HBO put it on. There was a lot of fans of the movie. They were major fans of Edith Beale. I just got lucky enough to happen to have met her. There's no really too big of a story than that. I got to meet her several times. We communicated. And all this bullshit that, oh, Edith hated me. That is so far from the truth. You're desperate, Don. You're entirely desperate to find dirt on me. Now, me and Edie got along quite well the times we met. We stayed in touch for a short while until she moved to Florida. Later on, she had passed away. She was in her condo for, I don't know, at least a week before anybody figured out she was gone. That was kind of sad. But if you're going to make up a story, Don, at least make it correct. Look, there's plenty of stuff, more than you could handle on Grey Gardens and who's involved with it and who did this and who did that and who did what. It's really easy to look up. If it's something you want to look up, just look up Grey Gardens. Look up Edith Bouvier Beale. There's a ton of material on Edith Bouvier Beale. There's a ton of stuff on the movie itself. I'm not making a big deal of it. I just said that, yeah, I met the woman, I photographed her, that was it. We kept in touch until the time she passed away in Florida, in Ball Harbor. I think it was called, no, was it called Ball Harbor? I think it was in Ball Harbor, Florida. It was a dream of hers, actually, other than going to France. She was quirky, she was eccentric. It was a massive opportunity to actually meet her. Who knew she'd become this cult hero? But did I profit from any of this? Sure, I did. I just want to get all this straight on here. Not have to hear it from Don C. You want to hear something, you ask me a question, and I'll give you an answer to it. Only I'll give you a truthful answer. Don, I don't think ever had any endeavors like that. He's too much of an egghead or something. He was an office worker. He sat in a chair, worked on computers, and did IT and whatever he did in the market that he was involved with. But now he's an expert on my life. And goes as far as saying that I was, again, I have to mention this, that I was stalking Roseanne Barr. How desperate can you actually be, Don? Did I ever meet? Yeah, I met Roseanne at a book signing. Hold on, I'm going to turn down the volume on this thing here. I'm only going to talk about another 5 minutes or so on here, but I want to straighten this out once and for all. I don't really need to respond to that shit-faced idiot, but I choose to respond, and my response is that he's full of shit.
Where are you going?
And he's entirely full of shit. I don't understand why he's jealous of me if he's led such a great life and did whatever he claims he did. And yes, you do look 80 years old. I got to keep on saying that. And why are you so infatuated with me? Now, me and the Barry situation, well, this is a pretty serious situation. There's a criminal case against him. And yeah, that's mentioned a lot because it's very current. It's very ongoing. And people seem to have an interest in it. There's a lot of drama involving that. Okay, fine. It's YouTube, I expect that. But that'll bottom out sometime. Now, the other day, I decided to I just want to recap all of this shit, and then I'm not going to talk about it again. The other day, I decided to put some photographs on here showing that I did indeed was involved with photography and I never made it a career. Okay, we figured that out. Don had to attack me on that. No, you never went to college, you never did this, you never did that, you never did this. Is that more of wishful thinking, or is this just your way of trying to get a reaction from me? Maybe both. The fact is, I did go to college. I did graduate with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. I did do photography. I did it mostly on a personal level. Yes. Absolutely. Did I ever profit from my photography? Yes, I did. Mostly through eBay. Did I ever sell a negative collection or a part of a negative collection to somebody? Yes, I did. $5,000? No. That's like giving you the steering wheel of my car, for like $5,000. I mean, of a fucking, Maserati. No negative collection was sold. I still retain rights to other negatives I still possess. I sold a certain collection of negatives to a private individual. It was not Kent Bartram. The only dealings I had, Donnie, with Kent Bartram was, again, a one-time purchase to use in an upcoming book that I don't even know has ever been published. So all the hoopla about Grey Gardens is really not a lot of hoopla, except the fact that I was fortunate enough to meet a very interesting woman that was worthwhile to sit down with, break bread, literally, and bullshit with, and photograph, and get to see this very famous old mansion that she lived in. This, of course, was after her mom's death. And yes, we did sit out there. We talk about the Kennedys. We talk about a lot of shit. Edith Beale did not hate me. I don't know where that came from. It came from Don. Look, I'm not a tech wizard on here, but I could easily come up with some kind of text, like as if it was from Nika or whoever it might be. Anybody could post something. You could post your name on something and take credit for that or whatever. I could do that much if I had to. And it would not be hard for somebody like Don, because I think Don is a lot more involved in what's going on YouTube than most of you think of. I think he's behind some of these channels that a lot of you people have in question. Just a thought. Just a thought. You may agree or may not agree with me. But what is true is that this guy spends more time following me around, hanging on every word of mine, when he's supposed to have this beautiful wife, and they're living in Thailand, living supposedly a luxurious life, but yet he makes time for me in his life. I'll go figure that. Is this guy obsessed with me? Is he attracted to me, perhaps? I don't know. Something's up with that guy. But he spends an inordinate amount of time tracking me down, and he's saying that I'm stalking people. Who? No, I was stalked by somebody on YouTube. You know who it was? Roseanne Barr? Really? I mean, I like Roseanne. I've actually did meet her at a book signing thing in Hilo, Hawaii. It's about as far as it goes. I may have made some comments. She used to have some social media channels. She has one now. It's very political. Never met Roseanne other than a book signing. I just want to put this information. It's coming from me. It's not coming from Don. So if you have a question about something, you simply ask me. Don't ask Don. Don is out there just to be a troublemaker, and has proved to me he has a lot more time on his hands than you would figure for a guy that supposedly has a few bucks, or considering the industry he was in, considering that he's married. And this doesn't add up. I'm a terrible mathematician, but nevertheless, this does not add up to me. I think this guy has more time on his hands than he wants anybody to know. Don, you could write and say anything about me, but you're starting to become very slanderous. Okay, let's not go there. Live your life as an 80-year-old that you are. I don't know, what did you say? You were 68? I'm going to say it again. And my viewers agree with me. You look like you're 80 years old. Now, that's an opinion. You look like you're 80 years old. I look a hell of a lot younger than you do. But why don't you spend your time with that loved one of yours? I spend as much time with my girlfriend as I can, whether it's going to events or whatever it is, going out for dinner. But let me tell you something. You have too much time on your hands. Much too much time on your hands. And what would you do if I was not on here anymore? Good question. What would you do? Well, you'd find somebody else. Right? If it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else. Isn't that the way it works historically on here? There's always somebody on here to harass and heckle, defame, slander. And you're a grown-ass man, 68 years old, who looks 80, yes, 68 years old, and you spend that much time concentrating and researching me? Something you want to know, Don, why don't you just ask me instead of make up a bunch of stories? So why don't we just clear the air? This Grey Garden shit. Yes, I was happy, I was proud that I had something, although it was very minute, but yet important at the same time. Yes, actually, that's why I know that you were not talking to whoever you said you were talking to. Because he doesn't know everything. Kent does not know everything. I've had dealings with Kent only over his book and buying some one-time use photographs again. That's it. The truth is, I would not be on the IMBDs of Grey Gardens if I didn't contribute something. It wouldn't make any sense. What, again, did I contribute? Does Kent know about this? I don't know. He would. You would think he would, because yes, it is true. They were looking, I'm sorry for repeating myself, folks, but I just want to kind of, for the last time, and the last show I'm going to do anything about Grey Gardens, I could only say I was happy to have something to do with the movie. And I never went to Toronto. I was living in Seattle at the time or something. I wasn't about to go to Toronto on the set. When the smoke was cleared, the movie was already, you know, being filmed while they were in Toronto. The timing was not there, as you know, Don C would imply something on there that, oh, you never did this, you never did that. Well, timing disallowed me to do certain things. Would I have liked to be on the set there? Sure, I would have loved to. They actually built the set in, I think it was Toronto, Canada. They did an excellent job of kind of recreating what the interior looked like of Grey Gardens Estate. Quite a magnificent job that they did. I know because I've actually been to the real Grey Gardens Estate. To me, it was a privilege. I think she's probably one of the I think I've met in my life. Learned a lot from her in a very short period of time. Had a great opportunity of photographing her. Who knew she'd become more so of a cult hero, a cult figure, basically. According which circles you travel, but she absolutely was. People loved the movie. They were nominated for like, I don't know, 6 different awards. I think Drew did a fantastic job of playing Edith Beale. Jessica Lange did a fantastic job of playing Edith's mother. I thought it was excellent. And she had to practice so hard to get that accent in on there for Little Edie. I got to give her credit for that. What else is there to say before I just relax and watch a movie here? Who knows? Maybe I'll watch Grey Gardens. Or maybe I will if it's out there. I've seen it so many times. If you want to go to the Grey Gardens movie on HBO, if you could find it, just look at the credits at the end. It's in big enough letters, it hangs there for a while. You'll see my name, you'll probably see Kent Bartram's name in there somewhere, because we both basically made our own contributions to the film. I thought it was awfully cool. I still do. That's an accomplishment. How many of you have your names on a movie? I don't care what you would do for the movie. Whether it was research assistant, whether you're an actor, actress, whatever. It's totally cool to see your name up on there. To me, it was cool. To some people, it might think, well, you know, big fucking deal. But it was to me. And that's all that matters. It was to me. And in case Kent is listening to this, if he ever really was contacted, which that was a lot of phony. And by the way, I wrote him personally on Messenger, so I'll wait till I hear from him to see if he was actually talking to Don C, first of all. I'll wait till he actually gets back to me. Time zone might be different. But that was a lot of bullshit, Don. That was a lot of bullshit. And where Kent is saying, ha ha ha, Kent would not say that. No. Because if Kent, who would know everything about the movie, would know that it was my photographs that created or recreated the outfit they needed. Bottom line. It was my photos that actually helped an artist recreate a portrait of Edith Beale's mom. Bottom line, that's it. Nothing more than that. That was my contribution to Grey Gardens. I got a credit for it. I was very happy about. And I also was able, with permission from Edie, to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do with her photographs, negatives, or whatever. I had permission. Did I make any money on eBay? I certainly did. And when the HBO came out with Grey Gardens, that's when it started happening. Yeah, I made a bunch of sales on that. I absolutely did. I don't know how much I made, but it wasn't an extraordinary amount, and it wasn't a small amount. But even my girlfriend at the time couldn't believe it. What's all these orders coming in? She thought I was fucking loaded with money. Well, before that, we saw the movie, and she saw the credit. She was impressed. She thought I had a lot of money. No, really, you don't get really anything for, you know, according to what you're doing for the cast. If you're like a director or something, producer, of course, but research assistants are pretty much voluntary. If you volunteered for the most part, really, contributed in some way to a cause, to a movie, to whatever it might be. I did. It's not a big story. It's very minute. But to me, it was important. That's all that matters, Don. You can't see it that way because all you want to do is degrade me and down me and so forth. It's obvious you don't like me. The feeling is mutual. But don't come on here and lie about all this shit. You're getting as bad as the guy that's in the correctional center. Have a life. You got this wife and all that. I want you to go love your wife. Go take a bike ride up in the mountains or something with her. Spend some of your time with whatever family you have there in Thailand. And stop worried about me and what I say and what I do on YouTube. It's not very becoming of you, and it makes you look like an idiot as much as the other idiot. You don't sound like a mature man, even at 68 years old, even though you look 80. You don't sound like a mature man whatsoever. Don't worry about what I do. I'll share what I want to share. And if you have a question, you ask me. Don't ask Don. Don't ask Barry. Don't ask anybody. You simply ask me a question if you have it. If you want to know the true answer, I'll answer your question. But as far as all this bullshit, Don, I'm not even going to say it. If we were both in America, I'd have lawsuits flying in you like you wouldn't fucking believe. Really, I would. But you're insignificant to me. You're like a gnat. That's all you are. And you really need to do something with your time because you have been gone. You've been overboard for quite a few years. You moved to Thailand to enjoy your life. Enjoy it. Enjoy your wife. I don't know what your relationship is with her, good or bad. I don't give a shit either way, but if you've got something good going for you, man, go for it. Don't worry about my life. I'm not part of your life. I don't want to be part of your life, and nor should you be a part of mine. I mean, if a Mack truck hits you, I'd probably just clap my fucking hands, to be honest with you. Because you are also a lowlife, and I don't care what so-called intellect that you try to profess on here, or how much money you say you have. We've got a lot of liars on here. Your social life can't be that great if you're following me all around, and you're leaving comments on every channel. There's a lot to say about that, Donnie boy. You're not living the life you're trying to project of Popeye and anybody else whose show you go on. You left comments on Barry's channel on his community page. I've seen them. Then on one of the copycat channels. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Why does it bother you so much if there's any good that happens in my life? Why does it bother you whatever my education you think was or was not, or whether or not I went into a career what I studied? Why does that bother you so much? I mean, are you putting food on my table? No, you're not. So shut the fuck up. You're nothing to me, Dawn. I don't think you're anything to yourself. I don't think you pride yourself very much. You must have a lot of low self-esteem if you're going to be chasing after me all the time and nitpicking every single thing I do on YouTube. I don't know if I should feel sorry for you. No, probably not. But your time will come. Don't worry about it. If you age that rapidly at your age, 68, huh? You look 80. Can't be much but around the corner to have something concerned about there. You're probably on medicines like most people on here, but you're not going to say that, are you? Your life may not be as bright as you try to project to us on YouTube. You're pathetic, Don. You really are. And I'm not alone on that thought. There's a lot of people think you're pathetic. You're in the same realm as Popeye and the others. You're all looking for attention, and you want to get it any way that you can. I ended the subject on Grey Gardens. I think I had a little part in something that was awfully big, I think. And yeah, I'm proud I had anything to do with that. I mean, anything at all to do with that movie. How many people can say that? And it was a big movie, actually. And some of the greatest actors in the world were in that movie. And they did a great job. How many out there, raise your hand, got an IMDb, whatever, on any movie? A contribution to some work of art, a contribution to a film, a video, writings, whatever it might be. Don't come all out at once. All you've done all your life, Don, is sit in a fucking office chair on a computer. That's your life. I can at least say I've done a hell of a lot more than that. That is all. Good day. Get over yourself, Don. Seriously.